I want to show you the cover of a book because it illustrates graphically what we're going to be talking about. This is absolutely one of my favorite books by one of my favorite authors, which would be me. You see there's a row of red apples over here. You want that to be your competition. Can't tell the difference, just can't tell the difference. You want to be the green apple. What are the three things that if we excel, if we execute, if we do these three things right every time, all day long, we'll win? What I love about this is they threw the idea of corporate speak completely out the window, thank goodness. You talk about simplicity, listen to this. Number one, Ed, pick it up when you say you will. Number two, deliver it when you say you will. Number three, deliver it intact and all there. Boom. If they do those three things consistently well every time, they will win. The basic idea is, how do you separate yourself from the competition? How do you differentiate so clearly that the marketplace doesn't even see you as being in the same category? Those are as basic as it gets, but they're so good at the basics that they are cutting edge. Be the best at what matters most. You know, there's an old saying, and I think it's more relevant today than it's ever been. It says, don't learn the tricks of the trade, learn the trade. If you focus on quality and consistency and you are relentless about continuous improvement, then you win. Be the best. That's the ultimate difference. They talk about it intentionally as a process every single day. I was talking about this to a group, and a bank CEO came up after I talked, and he said, I'm all over that Ritz-Carlton thing. We kind of do that. We've got a card with the 5 most important things in the bank, and every January we have an all-employee meeting, and everybody comes, and anybody that brings that card and shows it on their way in gets a silver dollar. So everybody's got that card. And then during the meeting, we put it up on the screen, and we talk about those 5 things. And we do. So I'm in on that policy. And I'm thinking, do you really? Every January? Really? Well, that's precious. That's really special. Ritz-Carlton does it at the start of every single shift with every single employee. Now, you tell me who's going to have a culture that means anything. Get absolute clarity throughout the organization, not just in the offices of you and the managers, absolute clarity throughout the organization on what is most important here. Now let me ask a much, much, much tougher question. We are nearly unanimous, if not unanimous, in our agreement that we have to get better every day. Everybody agrees. Well, we have to get better. It's an imperative. It's a requirement. Have to get better every day. What did you do yesterday that made you better? Well, we couldn't get better yesterday. We were slammed yesterday. You should have been there. I want us to open our minds. All of this is to help set the stage for the bombarding of ideas that you're going to be hit with over the next few days. Open up your minds, and now it's your turn. I don't do a typical one-way speech. In my presentations, people engage. They engage with me, they engage with each other, they engage with the ideas. It creates an energy that actually carries over into the rest of the event. The feedback we get on this is extraordinary. Here's my favorite story about little kids being open. It's Ken Robinson's story. Little girl in kindergarten class drawing a picture. I mean, just will not raise her eyes from it. Laser beam focus on it. To the point that the teacher goes, what in the world is she working on over there? Teacher makes her way over to the little girl and says, honey, what are you drawing? Little girl looks up and says, I'm drawing a picture of God. The teacher kind of laughs and says, but honey, nobody knows what God looks like. Little girl says, they will in a couple of minutes. Now, are you a customer of Les Schwab? right now. How many of you are customers of Les Schwab? Raise your hands. Okay, a few of you, a dozen of you. Answer this for me. When you pull your car into a Les Schwab parking lot, what happens? They run to your car. This was not rehearsed. And the thing that I love to imagine is that it didn't happen in some big strategy retreat with the executives. I love to imagine that at the end of the day, one day, they're all standing around the tire store and somebody says, we sell tires. How can we set ourselves apart? And I imagine some 18-year-old kid with grease on his face, and he's standing over there and he says, I don't know. Maybe we could just like run out there or something. Yes! Yes! Maybe you could just run out there or something. Great companies have great ideas and they take action on them. Now listen carefully. Mediocre companies also have great ideas. The difference is they don't take action on it. How many of you have something that you know you should do in your business? You know you should do it. It's the right thing to do. It's the smart thing to do. You are capable of doing it. It would make things better. And you're not doing it. Is it just me? Anybody else? Can I get a witness? The ideas that you will hear at this event are only of value if you take action. Michelangelo said the great danger for most of us is not that we will aim too high and miss it. The great danger for most of us is that we will aim too low and hit it. Thank you so much for having me. This is such a privilege. Aim high. Have a great time, gang. Thank you very, very much. Thanks. We do one thing. We help companies become a category of one, and we're really good at it.